Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is CLX Foundry Live right here on Kick for Tuesdays, except for it's Wednesday because yesterday was a national holiday for us here in the United States. And happy Independence Day to all of you. We've got an amazing part 2 of our build out for the BBJess Twitch versus Kick streamer showdown. On Thursday, we built out the PC that was for Kick. No, for Twitch on Thursday. Today, we're doing our Kick build. And of course, these builds are going to the top fundraisers for each platform. We're going to see who's going to win that out. The other thing that's going to happen today is we're going to announce who won the June giveaway, which is super exciting. And that's going to be a little bit later on in the show. That partnership with Atmo Esports provides you not just with this PC, but with an amazing accessories package, including an iPad. It's all sorts of awesome. But for right now, let's get started with today's show. Now, this may sound a little bit like familiar because we're going to build out the same thing that we built out on Thursday, but just a little different. Gentlemen, take it away. Oh, sorry. Also, joining me, of course, live in the studio, it's Paul Steffens, our lead technical expert, and Hayden Hutchinson, our master builder of the day.
What's up, guys?
Hey, everybody. All right, so starting out, we'll start with the case. We've got a Neo Qube. Now, this is the same design that we did for the Twitch build, but this one's in black. You can see we've got our custom printed panels here. Once we get these off the case, we'll show them a little bit more in depth, but these came out really well. I really like the way these panels look on this black chassis.
Looks good.
It looks better on the black, I feel.
Yeah, you like a little bit more on the black.
Just
yeah, the purple and green looks nice. Yeah. So starting out for our processor, we've got an i7 13700KF. We've got our CLX Quench 360 AIO for this. For our motherboard, we've got an MSI Z690 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. We've got 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 speed RAM, a 2 terabyte Kingston M.2 NVMe drive. We've got an MSI 4060 Ti, which I believe is the first MSI 4060 Ti we've done on the show. So that'll be cool to have.
I think so.
We've got 9 of our Gamdias Aeolus M2 fans, a 750 watt Gamdias 80 plus bronze RGB power supply. So we'll start getting the panels off this and get going. So.
All right. Absolutely fantastic. We're super excited about this. On Thursday, you'll definitely want to tune in to our other show because we'll definitely be announcing what's going to be happening for July. A lot of fun. Super excited. Right now, I'm just intrigued to see who ends up winning that Atmo Esports build because that is going to be incredible. Look at all that. I love the fact they got BBJess' hat in there. I dig it.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
Yeah. I finally had a chance to run by Jess's stream. What a bundle of energy. I absolutely love watching her stuff. She's hilarious. So, I got that nice green CLX in the back. All right. Go ahead and get started with this. Obviously, we've got this case, which is basically, it's the same frame. It's just a different color. Mm-hmm. What are some of the features of this frame, Paul?
Yeah, so there's a lot of good design, similar design to the 011s as well. So what Hayden's taking off right now is this cable management panel, so you can see that come off. It's got room for a hard drive there too.
2 hard drives.
2 hard drives, right, yep. And overall, I mean, the biggest difference to me with this case versus like the 011 is the rear here. So typically, you know, you've got rear exhaust fans. With this case, there isn't any fan mount, so it's just some grates here for airflow. So we're going to have 3 fans in the bottom, 3 over here, coming out this side, and 3 in the top.
Excellent. There we go. Realized my camera was a little off center. Nice. Tashio welcomes. Good to see you. Engelheimer's here. Semmers and Samantha all back. Olmec. Damon of Sin. Hello. Nicole. Hi. If you have any questions about anything that you see here today, please let us know. That is something we love to do, is answer your questions. It doesn't have to be about this build. It can be about computer building in general, maybe even your system. All you've got to do is type it in the chat. Chances are somebody else is thinking it. They just haven't asked it. All right. Starting off with our motherboard, this is an MSI Mag Z690 Tomahawk Wi-Fi DDR4 motherboard. It's actually a really decent motherboard. It's got some great heat sinks on it. We're pulling out obviously the fans and getting those started.
Yeah, I like to get a little bit ahead on these fans. There's a lot of twist ties to cut, some stickers to take off. So I try to get a little bit ahead on that. So I'll do that while Hayden's messing with this motherboard.
Oh, right. Oh, Thon, that's never the way to go, but okay. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at this. Obviously, you can see the heat sinks for all of our M.2s from that top down right there. It's got a great south and north bridge, plus a built-in I/O shield on the backside. Taking a look now at those ports, we've obviously got our HDMI and display port up top, which we're not going to be using because we've got an amazing graphics card. You've got 2 USB 2s, 3 USB 2 Gen 1s, 3 USB 2 3.2 Gen 2s, plus a 2x2 USB-C, which means you got 10 up and 10 down. You've got a 2.5 gig Dragon port right there for the LAN, Wi-Fi 6, plus all of your sound options down below.
It's a pretty nice board.
Yeah, I like this board. Just some of the aesthetics like that I don't see on a lot of boards. I just really like that the M.2 slots are numbered. Yeah, cool, that is really cool. It's no second guessing. If there's 2 under the big one, it's all right there. They're really simple, easy to do, but I like that.
And you can also kind of, I guess, organize your M.2s by the number. So
yeah, that's right.
Your OS in like 1, and then I think it's a nice touch.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely fun. All right, let's talk about the processor now. You mentioned it before. This is a Core i7 13700KF. Now, for those who may not know, what do the different letters for the different variants of these processors mean?
Yeah, so those different letters obviously refer to different models of the processor. So the K in this means it's unlocked, which means it does allow overclocking. And the F means it does not have onboard video. Like you mentioned, DJ, we've obviously got a video card going on this, so we don't need that onboard video on our processor.
Alrighty. Getting that put in there does, however, mean we've got to do a little bit of work with a thing called thermal paste. But first, Hayden, if I'm putting none of those in, how do I know that I'm putting it in right side up?
Yeah, okay, so when you get your board out of the box, it'll be clamped down like that. And on this black chip, you will have a diamond. I don't know if it picks it up, but it should be...
Perfect.
Yeah, bottom right, or bottom left, right? On your processor itself, also in the bottom left.
Oh, yeah.
A tiny little gold arrow, yeah.
Gold arrow. You want to match that up. So this will literally only go in one way. It falls right into place like that. And you just pop, you just pop it
break
down.
your processor in half.
And you break your processor in half, yeah. No, but that snaps off, and then, like I said, goes in one way.
There you go. So what's next for our assembly?
So we'll probably start with our AIO kit, putting our bracket on there. I've got that over there,
Sweet.
Hayden. So when installing your AIO, typically they come with a few different hardware options. So you just want to make sure you pick the one with the right chipset,
Which
and
is
use that.
correct.
This one that we use for our Quench cooler is a really easy one to install. I really like this one. Just throw the black back plate on, and that's about it, really. Obviously, our pump will go on. There's a bracket that goes on our pump, but
you have your threaded standoff screws, which go on.
I want to give a quick shout out to Lindsay Wood, who's in the chat. Been a long time, my dear. My sister from another mister. I haven't seen you in a minute. So good to see you. Ghost Biscuits, you're right. 32 gigs is kind of a must nowadays. That is kind of a standard. Samantha does ask a good question. Do you think 32 gigs of RAM is necessary for someone not only gaming, but that has multiple programs running at the same time, like Discord, Spotify, etc.? Or would 16 gigs be fine?
16.
I think 16 would be fine.
16 is good.
32 is definitely going to become the normal,
16
but I think
is
16 is fine
kind
still.
of becoming minimum.
Yeah,
I would
16
say.
is the new 8.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I have 32. I don't plan on going any higher than that ever. So
Yeah.
I have 64, but that is overkill.
yeah. But you also,
But
you're also doing a lot of other things on the PC.
Yeah. Lots of things. Yeah, so I know, Dirty Yankee, because of the holiday yesterday, we didn't have our show. We wanted to make sure we definitely got today's build out and announced our winner as quickly as possible. So that is going to be how happening while we're today on Wednesday. Normally, this show is every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern on their respective platforms, depending on the day.
right, so we got a thermal paste going on here. So Hayden will show you how to apply this.
Yes. So let's talk about that. Everybody's got their own different, I would say, concept or method. I know some people like doing a line, some people like doing a dot. Hayden, what's your preference and instructions on if somebody's doing this for the first time? How do they know what to do with it?
I just like doing a pea-sized amount. You can go ahead and do a line if you want. I've noticed when you do a line, you kind of just don't know how much you're putting on, because you can go, sure, anyone can do a line, but it goes off of the thickness of that line. The pea-sized amount will be the same overall, if that makes sense. When I'm doing open loops on my CPUs, I like to do, you know, I'll do a line or I'll do a pea-sized amount, but I'm always spreading it out with a thermal spreader just to make sure that it's evenly spreaded. But pea-sized amount, can't go wrong with that.
Alright, so we'll get this pump on here. Hayden is taking off the thermal paste that came with the AIO. Some AIOs will come with thermal paste pre-applied to the pump, and if they don't, usually they have a small syringe with thermal paste in it as well. It just kind of depends on the cooler that you go with.
Nice. Now, Hayden, you mentioned something earlier that we haven't really discussed yet on this episode, but you mentioned open loop versus AIO. What are those, and what's the big difference between them?
So there's a couple of ways you can cool down your CPU and just your overall PC in general. But the main way is you got your open loop, which is your AIO. So this is a this is water cooling, but this is closed loop, so you can't see any of the liquid. The liquid's already in there for you. Open loop is where you have your, you know, your clear tubes, or you can even do, you know, whatever kind of tubes you want, but you're physically putting in that liquid yourself. And then you have air cooled, which is just your normal stock cooler, no liquid cooling at all, just normal fan on top of your CPU. If you're going for the best thermals, obviously open looping your system is a lot better, but kind of just depends on what you want.
Yep, the bot will definitely not love you if you post a link in here. Just FYI.
Bot says no.
Bot says no.
Yeah. Okay, getting that power cord looped in around there. Now, this is something that I've seen both you and Zach take great care to ensure that it is routed properly. What's the reasoning behind that?
It is so it looks nicer. That's simply just that. If I didn't do that, you know, you'd have an extra cable just hanging out somewhere. This makes it to where you have enough slack just to plug it in, and then you just hide the cable like that.
I would hate to refer to a picture I put in our own little show Discord, because
please don't.
I showed these guys the actual image of my very first streaming PC build that I just started my very first time, and that was in 2014, 15. Needless to say, my cable management was complete and total garbage.
Only a little bit.
Yeah, cable management's the hard part.
Hayden was like, "This makes it," just was not okay with it. All right.
It simply just looked like you didn't look at a manual or a video building it. It's fine.
Oh.
It's okay.
Yep. Speaking of neither of those things, we're installing right now the 2 terabyte Kingston NVMe M.2 storage drive underneath that heatsink. If you're installing one of these, you do have to be careful so that you're installing it correctly. What's the best practice for that?
So I will actually just pop this out to show you. So on your M.2, you're going to have a little groove, and you're going to match that groove up with the little slot on the thing. It's going to go in at an angle, and this one is a newer gen type of heatsink, so it's going to have a swivel arm that holds it down. And you want to make sure you're taking off your plastic on your thermal pad. You do not want to leave that plastic on there. and then you just pop it back in.
Yeah, M.2s
Nice.
are like surprisingly easy to install. They're kind of delicate, so you obviously want to be a little bit careful with it, but really it's just you slide into the slot pretty easily, you push it down, put the screw in, turn the swivel around, whatever it is that secures it in place.
And what's really nice about this is that there's room for 5 M.2s. So if you're getting a new PC and you have your data on another M.2, so long as it doesn't have the operating system drive on it, you can bring that all over. Lost Drake in the house!
What's up?
What's going on, dude? Welcome.
Hello, hello. All right, so we'll get our RAM on, and then our board will pretty much be done.
Yep. Speaking of RAM, we've got two 16 gig sticks of DDR4 3200 Kingston Fury RAM. Fury Black RGB RAM. That is going to be obviously going into slots 2 and 4. What happens if you put it on slot 1 and 2?
Nothing's gonna happen. It'll still boot, but it won't be as optimized.
Yeah, you won't be taking advantage of the dual channel. So essentially you'll have the same amount of memory, but all in one lane, to where having it this way, you'll have both sticks of memory in their own lane, which just allows for better performance.
Got it. FX asks, is 128 gigs even possible? Yes, that would be 4 32 gig sticks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you can do that. There's some boards with 8 RAM slots, so you could get, you could get there in a bunch of different ways, but yep. And I believe 128 is typically the max for most, gaming motherboards. That is increasing a little bit with the new hardware, but yeah.
We've gotten past it before.
Yeah.
It's a pain to get there because you have to do a bunch of different tweaks.
Yeah.
Most motherboards can't even handle.
Yeah, you'd have to have a pretty... I mean, I would assume that's like, I'm just the processor wise, to be able to utilize 128 gigs of RAM, that seems unfathomable.
It's a whole lot. Yeah. I don't know what application that would be worth it on, but obviously some server situations. But in a gaming environment, I'm not really sure.
All you're gonna do is be playing RuneScape. You need 128 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, play 128 versions of RuneScape at the same time. One for each gig.
I can see 128 being used in like a video production manner. If you're really trying to pump out a work of film out on a PC, like Premiere or one Blackmagic uses, the other one, it doesn't matter. Those type of video processes would definitely benefit from that kind of memory.
Yeah.
F8X01, does any Asus motherboard support 120 gigs of RAM? I would say most of them. I think the average is 128 max on most boards.
Yeah, most Asus boards should support that. Now, like DJ said, that's probably the max on a lot of them, but yes, they will.
We got Last Drake, we've got Esme in here. Hello. Okay, now that we've got those fans on the radiator, are you going to be pushing the air through or pulling it?
We'll be pushing air through. So the way Hayden's got those orientated, they'll be blowing air through the radiator. So this is the push method. If we had them on the other side, that would be pulling air through, which is the pull method. Pushing air through your radiator is always recommended. However, if you're in a situation with your case and you got to pull air through, that's okay. Just push through it when you can.
And then periodically we do push pulls.
Yep.
You don't mind?
Yeah, you can do a push pull. So this side of the radiator, this shot you're looking at right now, you can see these holes. This is obviously to mount fans on this side of the radiator if you wanted to do that. So if you have room in your case and room in your budget, you can have fans on this side where we've got them, and then also on this side. That does provide excellent cooling. It's just not something that's done very often. So.
Yep, again, I've been playing on my system, my new system, this beautiful box back here that I can't stop being fascinated by. on Ultra with ray tracing, and I don't think I've seen it get above 62 or 64 degrees.
Yeah,
Been pretty wicked.
Push pulling on a triple rad is pretty great.
Yeah.
It's insane.
We do have a question coming in from EDC Aeolus. Is this build ESD safe?
Yeah, this build is ESD safe. So we have an anti-static mat that we build on, and then if you don't have this and you're building one at home, it's always recommended to build on like a hard surface, so like wood or tile or something like that. You don't want to be like rubbing your feet with socks on across carpet building a PC. But what you can do is just touch the frame of your case like this. Anywhere on the frame of your case, you're going to ground yourself. So before you go to grab your motherboard, just touch your case, pick your motherboard up, put it in. Yeah.
We got to do an April Fool's build.
Just
we blow on carpet.
shock and all, yeah. Blow
we do
up.
everything wrong.
Yeah.
We don't acknowledge it.
That'd be funny. All right. So we got our motherboard going in there.
By the way, I'm a terrible friend. I just realized that I'm subbed to BBJess, but I wasn't following BBJess for some reason. Like, I don't even know how that happens. But there we go. Yes, BBJess is watching on her stream. Hello to everybody in BBJess's community. Great to see you here. And of course, this is our kick build for the top, I would say, fundraiser with the charity stream that she's set up. So it is Kick versus Twitch, and there's a massive fundraiser going on. Whoever raises the most on each side wins a PC. So awesome, so cool, and what a great idea. We super appreciate it. And again, if you can take a look at that hat she's wearing, that's the imagery that we've got on the front. So cool. Okay. Back to ours, yes. Usually, so Ghost Biscuit says, I usually build while standing barefoot on cardboard. Heard it's safe too. Is that true?
Yeah, that's good.
That should be fine.
And if you got like tile under that cardboard, you can just get rid of that cardboard. But if that's on top of carpet, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yep. Again, I isolate mine using little square pieces of tile under one piece of tile underneath each foot. It's just kitchen tile. I used to work for Ann Sachs Tile and Stone, and they're now a division of Kohler. But whenever they were just going through cleaning out extra stuff that didn't get used for an order, they would just leave it in the middle of the front way. And so I just was like, sure, I'll take it. So I have 1,000 pounds worth of tile sitting in my sitting on my garage that I have no idea if it's going to be useful someday, but we're thinking about it. Your PC is sitting on a wooden crate. Oh, that PC is sitting on a wooden crate. Yes, the one down here, my streaming PC, which is beginning to show its signs of absurdity. Now, FX Pros bring a good question. My processor sometimes goes above 73 degrees Celsius. Is that normal? I'm kind of scared sometimes. And that's a great question, guys, because I'd also love to know what is danger ratio, what's your danger temperature, when you want to start getting concerned.
Yeah, so 73 is definitely getting warm, but I wouldn't say that's too hot. It obviously depends on your CPU.
Yeah, especially like if you have like a 13th gen i9.
Yeah,
that's gonna get hot.
It's gonna get hot. Yep. Yeah. AMD and Intel are both just, the new processors are just running hot, which, nothing wrong with that if it's in its operating temps. So I would even say like 80, 90 before you even think something's wrong. I mean, anything maybe above 95.
Yeah, over 90 is what is scary.
Yeah. So to me, 73 used to be really hot, but right now that's pretty good.
If you're idling at 73, that's something wrong.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
My CPU idles right now right about 40.
40, yeah, that's great.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And that GPU idles at like 33. So
that's amazing.
But when we were running Dying Light 2 the other day, it got warm.
Yeah.
It was to the point where I had to turn the fan in the other side on the music side of the studio on a little bit higher because this thing was just pumping out heat behind me and my whole back of my neck was sweating. It's like, okay, it's warm in the room. Okay, what is next? We've obviously got the board mounted to the back of the case.
Yeah, so we got our board mounted in. Hayden is putting in the remaining screws for the AIO, our liquid cooler up top. Okay. So that's what he's working on right now. I might as well start getting this power supply unboxed while you're doing that, Hayden. We're probably going to get into chassis fans after this, but I'll get this power supply out of the box just so that's ready.
Sounds good. As our power supply, we're using a 750 watt Gamdias Kratos M1 80 Plus bronze RGB power supply.
Yeah.
Now, how is this power supply different from others, and what are the different types of power supplies that you can choose from?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that probably sets this thing apart from others is that it has RGB already on it. The fan that cools it has RGB, and there's a button in the back that we can use to change that. We can also get it to sync up with the other fans in the system. This is a non-modular power supply. So with power supplies, you've got non-modular, modular, and semi-modular. This is non-modular, meaning all the cables are pre-soldered in. You can see them right here. So once we get this twist tie off, we can get this in the system. Hayden can plug in what he needs, and then we will have some extra cables at the end that will bundle up, zip tie, and tuck away.
It'll be interesting to see Hayden's approach to how he, I would say, lays out the power supply compared to how Zach did. Because every builder is different.
Mm-hmm.
How I'm going to hide excess cable that isn't needed.
Yeah. Hayden's the man. He'll figure it out. Figure out a nice way. I think we had a lot of extra room on the one we did with Zach as well. So this case is pretty good.
Room.
Yeah. Well, and this case is considered a 2/3 design. What does that mean in the grand scheme of things for case comparisons?
Yeah, so what that 2/3 design is, you can see in the back here, we've got our I/O shield right here that we were talking about earlier. Sorry, Hayden, I'm going to rotate this a little bit. But so our motherboard sits 2/3 deep into this case, so that gives us all this extra room, this extra 1/3 in the back for some extra stuff. So like we showed you with the cable management panel, that's where our extra hard drives can go, and then also our power supply is going to mount right here in this hole. So we're going to have our power supply here coming and be mounted right in this hole. It's going to get fresh air in from this side and exhausted out the back. That way none of the heat from the power supply gets in the main body of the case.
Ingelheimer says, does this case come with a DVD player?
Does not come with a DVD player.
You can mount
you could mount one if you want. There's a lot of external options as well. If you need that optical reader, you can get a USB one.
So what you're going to do is you're going to want to cut into the glass on the front panel.
Cut into the glass,
and mount an optical drive.
Yeah, there you go. Just throw it in there.
Oh my God. And ironically, if you go and ask for a DVD cup holder, you'll still get the same product. Just kidding. Let's see here. What is the inspiration for the CLX sign? I think it's just mostly to light up. Or is that what you're referring to? Should look into having your branded shirts have the logo holographic design. Interesting. That's an interesting suggestion. We'll definitely pass that on to the powers that be.
It should be like a 1 in 15 holographic.
Serialized shirts.
Yeah, serialized shirts. Yep.
They're going to resell for $2 million.
Yep. Yep. Pretty good.
Rick Kensu says, how am I supposed to install my WordPerfect floppies? Oh my God, WordPerfect. That's right. That's right. I had the little template things you put over the keyboard for the shortcuts for WordPerfect. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Let's see here. What do you think the best bang for your buck graphics card is out there right now? And that is a question coming in from Fotsy. Good question.
Honestly, this card we're using right now, the 4060 Ti, if it's a little bit high on your budget,
if you're wanting to go 40 series.
Regular 4060. Yeah, if you're wanting to go 40 series. If that's a little bit out of your budget, look at the 3060, 3060 Ti.
Those prices went down.
Yeah. So that's where I would start at, looking for a budget build.
Nice. Nice. All right.
Case fans.
More case fans. All right, are you going to do the ones in the bottom or the back?
Right here.
Or those
The
ones?
back.
All right. We've got 3 more fans going in the back here. Like we mentioned, we got 9 total case fans. So we've already got a 3 up top that you can see. Hayden's putting in the 3 here, and then we'll do the 3 on the bottom last.
Sounds good. And again, welcome in everybody. If you're brand new to our show, this is CLX Foundry Live, where we do custom design builds from the ground up. This, of course, is once again for BBJess and the Twitch versus Kick Streamer Showdown. It's a huge fundraiser across 2 different platforms where the top fundraisers are going to win themselves a PC while also helping charity. All the RGBs. Necro says he will be for your stream, but he's currently... No worries. Absolutely. Thank you. I'll be streaming later on today on Kick. Instead of my Tuesday stream, I'm doing a Wednesday stream. Ta-da! All right. Now, we're going to be using a total of 9 fans. You've got 3 on the top, obviously attached to the radiator. I can see that Hayden's putting 3 on the back side. Now, are these going to be intake or outtake on the back?
So on the back, these are going to be intake. So we're going to have 6 intake and 3 exhaust.
Got it. So that means our final 3 will go down on the bottom. Perfect. Raptor, nobody does follow for follow. Come on. Panther asks, what does CLX Foundry mean? Well, a foundry is basically some place that you can create things or that you establish and build things. So
that's what we're doing here.
It's what we do. Do the event thing again. Explain what's going on. We were trying to clip it. Oh, sure. Okay, I'll try this again in one run.
Right, yeah.
Right. All right. Today's build, just like Thursday's build, is for BBJess's Twitch versus Kick Streamer Showdown. It is for an incredible cause with charity where, man, let me start over. See, now you made me say it, and I'm just like, oh, I said it fine before, but now I'm just kind of blah, 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 blah. BBJess has a Twitch versus Kick Streamer Showdown. It's an opportunity for content creators across 2 different platforms to raise an amazing amount of money for an amazing cause. The plus side is the top producers, or the top, I would say, contributors, each win themselves a PC. We've built the Twitch version on the show last Thursday. This is the Kick winners version, and we are excited to see who's going to walk away the winner, and, of course, who's going to be doing it for all the right reasons, charity. There you go.
Sounds great. Clip it.
I do what I can. I do what I can. Sorry. Again, Jason knows what it's like. I'll say something completely on the fly that's fine. And then we're like, wait, let's just add one more thing. And then it takes like 19 times because I will hiccup, start laughing. Somebody will walk by with a megaphone behind us. Looking at you, DreamHack.
They would never.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, I see you straightening those cables out, Paul. Why is that something that is useful or beneficial to do?
Yeah, so these cables, when you get them fresh out of the box, they're all kind of wound up with a twist tie. So just getting those bends out and straightening this out as much as possible just helps Hayden with his cable management.
Because he's nice.
Yeah, it's not something that's necessary, but while I'm just standing here looking pretty, I figure I can help Hayden out a little bit, you know?
And BBJess, if you need me to do one of those like offline, so just so you have it, I'll be more than happy to do that. Not a problem. Okay. I know a lot of people are excited about this, especially the fact we're giving away 2 PCs. Speaking of PCs that we're going to be giving away, we do have something coming up in just a little bit. It is going to be the announcement of the June winner, not July winner. Get good, DJ. What month is it, DJ? I don't know. The June winner will be announced today here on the show. So hang tight because that information is coming. All righty. So now I've got those 3 on the bottom. So the air is obviously going to be pulling it up from the bottom. Then we've got those raised feet. We've talked about best practices for where you want to put your PC or what you want to place it on so it's not at risk for electrostatic discharge. But you've got your 3 intakes on each side, and then you've got 3 on top. So you've got 6 fans coming in, 3 going out. That does create a bit of a positive pressure. When we're talking about positive pressure versus negative pressure, what's the best way to describe that, Paul?
Yeah, so it just essentially means we have more air coming in than we have going out. There's some debate online about positive pressure versus negative pressure. I prefer positive pressure in mines. When you have negative pressure, that kind of creates a vacuum, and that can create a lot of dust just getting in your system through cracks, not going through the proper filtration. But honestly, your system's going to function fine as long as you got the right amount of case fans in there. It's going to function fine either way.
Yes. And question came in from Engelheimer. Is there any red cases on CLX? Absolutely, there are. We've got some incredible designs. Kyle's got this red flame version. It's the raw. I believe it's a raw build, right?
Yeah. Our raw design.
It's our red raw.
Really good. And we've done quite a few of those on the show. So if you just want to see what that looks like, we've got the VODs up on our YouTube, so you can check them out there. I'm sure we'll get another one on the show, though.
Well, in fact, we could, since you asked, we could jump over and talk about our website here real quick. So why don't we jump onto that one while he's working on the cable manager at the back. At CLXgaming.com, we try and make it as easy as possible for you to be able to get the PC of your dreams and build it to meet your needs. And let's be honest, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but don't worry. We can choose everything that you want right from here. In fact, that red case I was looking for is right down there as well. From processors to RAM, you name it, we've got it, including accessories and even clothing. But if you happen to select or word that you're going to select things that aren't going to work together, don't worry. You'll notice the green button above me change to yellow. It'll give you options to say, all right, this is what you need to do here to fix this. So, for example, if you chose a DDR4 motherboard, but you have DDR5 RAM, it's going to say, okay, these are the motherboards that work with the RAM you selected, or this is the RAM that will work with the motherboard you selected. Once you resolve the conflict, you know everything's compatible, and before it goes to testing, it's already going to be guaranteed to work. Now, some people just aren't really into saying, hey, I want to build my own PC. Some people just want to get one that works, and don't worry, we have dozens upon dozens of various different configurations of PCs that are ready to ship right to your home today, fully tested and waiting for a new home. Who knows? That home could be yours. We have various different price ranges, capabilities, technologies inside of them. You get to choose what different kind you want. So for all of your PC needs, head on over to CLXgaming.com and let us help you step into the future.
Okay, oh, that's too funny.
I've been trying to switch it up a little bit, but yeah.
Oh no, yours was good. Panther's chat just cracked me up.
Oh,
I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, Paul's a very stocky, tall person. Very nice though.
Pretty thick, I'm a thick boy.
Very calm, cool, collected, I will say.
Yeah.
Even when we're listening to even when we're listening to Ridiculous.
Yep.
In our
Ridiculousness
bathrooms.
in the bathroom with the bathroom speaker.
On rerun.
Oh, yep.
That was
Rerun
so
Central.
amazing
That
still.
was pretty nuts. Yeah.
Oh God. That is a question I would definitely say for. I would answer that question. I could answer that question later on my channel, but I feel like that's not quite on topic for today with regards to how to grow your channel. Like when it comes to a corporate side, well, we're a company. That's what we do. Yeah. Okay. Now I noticed that there's a panel sitting down in front of you, Paul. What is that thing that you're touching?
Yes, this is our main intake dust filter here. This is going to go in the bottom of the case. So we took this out so we could install our fan. So we'll slide this back in here in a second once Hayden's done plugging in those front panel connections. Hayden can show you just how easy this is to install. This just slides in. Obviously, it's a dust filter, so you can just slide it back out, clean it off whenever you need to.
We have not. We haven't really talked about the GPU thing. Question coming in: what capture card company does CLX prefer, AverMedia or Elgato?
So typically it's Elgato is what I've seen on, but I've heard good things about both. I don't necessarily think either one's bad. I'm just more familiar with the Elgato ones. I've used the capture card and the HD60S for the Nintendo Switch to stream that. I've done that as well. So,
and I am 1000% an Evermedia guy. So, yeah. Again, it's personal choice, personal preference. I would definitely say try them out, see which works best. Yo, Stroud is here. Hello, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Ingelheimer asks, do you build all builds submitted on the site on stream? And if not, how do you decide? Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. So, no, we don't do all builds on stream. We just simply have too many builds to do them all on stream. So when we're looking at builds that we pick out like a customer build, we're just looking at, what we think is really cool, what we'd like to showcase off. Now, obviously, a lot of times we have some special builds like these giveaway builds, so we obviously like to do those on stream. But when it's a customer build, we're looking at just kind of what we think looks cool and doing it that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, you can see that's our build from last Tuesday back there, isn't it? The kick build.
Yes, yeah, that MV7 right there behind Hayden's shoulder. That is it. Yep, that's a real sick looking one. Yeah,
it's built and designed for Kick. It was a great venture. Our very first show was last week on Kick, which was great. It was my very first day streaming on Kick as well. So making our way into the world here.
Making our way downtown.
I guess you could say we came over to kick it with you.
Yeah, power supply
terrible.
We're kicking it.
Yep. All right. Now, speaking of things that we like to kick or kick around, here's a question for you. As I mentioned earlier, just like our ready-to-ship models, our custom models, they all go through the same thing. What happens to these PCs once they're built?
Yeah, so this machine, an RTS machine, a custom customer order, anything, once it's done being assembled and turns on, it goes to our testing and integration department. So the first thing we do there is get into the BIOS of the machine. We'll make sure our RAM speed's set correctly. All of our storage devices are showing up, so your NVMe's, your hard disk drives, SSDs, all that good stuff. And then sometimes there's some other settings we got to mess with inside of that BIOS depending on the operating system. But once that's done, we'll load the operating system, any games you've picked on the website. If you haven't picked any games, you just get a fresh install of Windows. We don't do any bloatware on the system. You're not going to get 18 copies of a random antivirus. It's just going to be a fresh Windows install. Then after that, we stress test the system for 12 hours. So we have a few benchmarking softwares that we use. The main one is 3D Mark. And what that allows us to do is run the system through its paces, essentially. And if there's a bad component in here that allows the system to turn on, but fails in a gaming environment, we can catch that here, fix it, and make sure that you get a stable system at home.
Yeah. Now I do see that we've got a lot of new faces in here. We've kind of steered away from doing the comparison from before, but I feel like we should probably, we have the opportunity to do it now while he's getting that wiring in. Let's start by taking a look at our graphics card today. This is an Nvidia GeForce RTX 4060 Ti RGB. Now, this is going to be MSI's version, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yep, this is going to be MSI's version. So last week, what we had at PNY, we just got these MSIs in the stock, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to show a different model of the same card on stream. So I'll go ahead and get this out. Really nice size card here. Small in comparison to others, which doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I like this.
Right.
I like the size of this card. We won't need an anti-sag bracket or anything. It'll just install really easy. We've got one 8-pin power connector right here, so that's nice. No dongle that we need to use. And then on the back here, you can see we've got one HDMI and then 3 display ports for our video output. Pretty basic design here. Pretty heat sink, 2 fans to cool that. So, yeah, this is a solid card right here.
Nice. So, when it comes to, I'm just going to ask it because we've got some new faces in here, so let's just run over it. We've often heard about how hot GPUs get and how much cooling they actually need, but we don't really often get to see why they get hot or what we're actually cooling off. So, do you have something you could show us? That Yay!
So I've got our handy dandy 1050 Ti here. This is a dead card that's out of warranty, so we get to play with it all we want. So what I've done here is I've taken the screws out that hold the heatsink on the video card, so we can really show you what a video card is underneath all this. Now, just to compare this to the 4060, it's almost the exact same size. This 1050 Ti is a little bit longer, but same width and same fan design. So once you take the screws off, this heatsink will actually pull off and the fans come off like this. This is really your video card right here. So you can see it's just a thin, regular PCB.
Yep.
You can obviously see our GPU there. That's why there's thermal paste on it. And we've got memory chips around here. So what this shows is that the bulk of your card, like when you're looking at those high-end 4090s that are huge triple or quad slot cards with a really thick cooler, they're just like this underneath that as well. So the bulk of your video card is to just deal with the heat that this GPU generates. I always think this is pretty cool to just get this pulled off and show that.
Yes, thank you. I've never seen one of those in pieces. There it is. Do I give off boss vibes? No, that's just the voice. And yeah, no, I definitely do not want to be a CEO because that is way too much responsibility and paperwork, and just I don't have that kind of attention span. DJ BluePDX, a random question, but what is the Ryzen version of the GPU? Oh, the Ryzen version of the that GPU. What would be comparable to the 4060 Ti in a Ryzen card, a Radeon?
I would say probably about 6600 XT. What do you think, Hayden? About there?
That should be
about 6600 XT is kind of right in that range. It's hard to get like a complete mirror across, but something about that. You know, maybe the 6600 is closer to the 4060 and the XT is closer to the Ti, or maybe a little bit other than that. But right in that range is about what it would compare to.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah, Stroud was. We met Stroud at DreamHack, which was a lot of fun in Dallas. Got a chance to hang out and chat. Definitely was very encouraging about getting over here onto Kick, which has been fun. I'm looking forward to what happens today. We'll see how many people come watch.
A bit more. Sorry, Hayden.
Very good.
All right, so you can see Hayden's got our cable management coming together really nicely. I'm going to rotate a little bit. Hayden's going to stab me if I keep doing this, but just want to get this shot here.
I'm pretty sure you. Ivory, I'm pretty sure you did need him, at least in passing.
You get to keep going too, Hayden, if you need to.
Yeah.
I don't want to slow you down or
No,
anything.
Okay, getting those final ties. Now, we do something here. There's not necessarily a reward for it, but it's always nice to see who's been paying attention. We're going to try and see how many of you can guess how many zip ties Hayden used during this build. And the interesting thing is this is a non-modular, so there's a few more things to actually tie up. Here come the guesses. Mr. Guava's in the house. Jedi Smuggler, hello.
16,
Good to see you.
15, 14, 10, 17, 23, 20. I think 20 is a little high. Let's see. I don't know what my guess is going to be. 13. I'm not counting them or anything.
X-Men's like finals 12. Lindsay Wood says 17.
There you go. These are all in the right range, except for those 20s. Y'all are a little... had a little too much coffee this morning.
Again, this case, despite the fact that it's a mid-sized case, has still so much room in the back. It's wild.
Yeah, I was really impressed when Zach did the white build of this with how much extra room there was inside. And I believe
Got somebody coming in saying 27.
27?
27 is crazy.
I feel like that is a little bit.
Maybe combined on this system and the next one Hayden builds together, maybe 27. But this case has a lot of extra room, and we talked about it a little bit with the show that we did with Zach. But this case is designed to have another whole PC setup here in the back. So you can do an ITX design in that area that Hayden's tying up. So since we're not doing that, that leaves us a ton of room to manage the cables, which is nice.
All right.
cables are managed.
They
Zip
are
tie
managed.
time.
Yeah, zip tie time.
All right.
So much room in the back? Yes. Okay, here comes the cutting. I'm going to guess he already knows.
I already know. Yeah.
We'll
All
probably
right,
use
there
one
we go.
more for
Look
the
at that
video
back.
card cable, right?
Yeah, I'll probably use one
Yep.
more for the video card.
Okay.
All right,
What are we
people,
at?
what do you think?
With the one
We've
added,
had
Yeah, with the one added.
17.
Ooh, okay.
17.
That's more than I would have thought.
Nice. Okay, then. Now, one thing to point out that when it comes to getting your PC, in the event that for some reason you at some point want to upgrade or maybe change something out or just adding another hard drive, make sure that you take a picture of the cable management so that you can return the cable management to its previous position, because then you've got it most efficiently placed in your system. Why is proper cable management so important, guys?
It helps with airflow.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it just really helps with airflow.
Helps with airflow. It's just an
Aesthetics.
overall better look, honestly. When you get a clean system tied up, it just
Now,
looks good.
Let's say your system is all tied up, it looks nice and clean, and then you need to add something on later down the road. Later on down the road, you open the back panel, everything's managed. You can easily see,
Yeah, if you've tucked
You can
everything
work
away,
around
you're
your
like, I can
cables.
just grab this one SATA cable
Yeah.
that I bundled
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and use this to plug in the hard drive. So, all right, so we're gonna drop this video card in here. We'll get this in frame, and this is a smaller card, so we won't use an anti-sag bracket like I mentioned before, which is nice. So,
Making sure that clip is out there, and then you're just going to slide it right in. Yeah, my biggest fear whenever installing things like this is that I'm going to push it all the way through the board. I feel that I can do the same thing with RAM. I'm always like, oh God, am I pushing too hard?
yeah, it shouldn't take a lot of force, but these motherboards can stand quite a bit of pressure as well. We had a dead one. This was many years ago, and we were just trying to break it in half by like bending it, and like we couldn't do it. It would just made like a C shape.
Interesting.
Which wasn't good, but I was like, these things are pretty tough.
So Lindsay has a great question. Do y'all ever break anything while you build?
Yes, so that does happen. It's just one of those things that's going to happen.
It's inevitable.
A clip on a power supply connector can break. Obviously, worst case scenario, you've got the processor in slightly off and you bend a pin. That's kind of worst case scenario. Other stuff is just like a PCIe clip can pop off every now and then. A RAM clip can. Pretty minor stuff though. But it does happen for sure.
Mullet Man asks if 64 gigs of RAM is too much for a laptop. I'll be honest, I have 64 gigs of RAM in my laptop, but I also use my laptop for music production and DJing, so it kind of needs to have that extra oomph. All right. Like that.
Hayden, you're fast.
Right?
That was quick.
I'm sorry.
You
guys.
did this in under an hour and still with no power tools.
That's impressive. Claps for Hayden for sure. All right, so I guess, yeah, we'll get these panels on and get ready to go.
All right. And I am ready to announce the winner. Are you all ready for the winner?
Ooh,
And this is going to be an interesting one because, again, this is random. The system chooses the winner. And I'm excited because the last time they drew, unfortunately, there was a little hiccup in the giddy up and didn't quite get it claimed. Today's winner is Ultimate Loser. Hello. I know you're in here.
Hey,
Ultimate Loser.
congrats,
Where are you?
Ultimate Loser.
Come
Congrats.
back in and say hello. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's awesome. You have won yourself the Atmo Esports Gaming Bundle. This custom PC comes along with an Atmo System 7 jersey, a Thrustmaster T248 racing wheel, a Thrustmaster T-LCM load cell racing pedals, the Tobii Gaming Tobii Eye Tracker 5, a 12-month Glass Pass, and an Apple iPad. This is going to make your game incredible, and congratulations. We're excited. Please make sure to check your email for the notice so that you can claim your prize. There we go. Yeah, that's that. I know, right? I was very shocked. I was shocked to see that. I'm like, wait, what? Okay. So congratulations. And of course, on Thursday, we'll be talking about what's happening with this month's giveaway. So you definitely want to tune in at that show at 11 a.m. Pacific. To find out about all the content that we post, all you got to do is make sure you're heading over to our Discord. Not only do you get a chance to interact with like-minded PC enthusiasts, gamers, and content creators, but you've also got access to all of our people here at CLX in case you have questions, could use advice, or just want to share what your build looks like. That's discord.gg/CLX Gaming. Once again, discord.gg/CLX Gaming. Did I just do a radio commercial?
He sure did.
I don't know, but it sounded good to me.
Here we go. Yes, congratulations, Ultimate Loser. This actually really good. You're now gonna have to change your name to Ultimate Winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
today was the day the
we're
ultimate
very excited
loser
for you.
Became the ultimate winner.
Yeah, we're very excited for you. Congratulations once again.
iPad is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool. You can control it with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seeing all that stuff.
And of course,
is awesome.
Yeah. And of course, to find out more about Atmo Esports, our partner for the June giveaway, head on over to their website at atmoesports.com or simply follow them on social media at Atmo Esports. Ta-da! Okay. So here we go. This, of course, once again, is our Twitch build for, our Kick build for the Twitch versus Kick streamer showdown, brought to you and created by BBJess, where 2 lucky fundraisers are going to win. And whoever's the top producer for those charities is going to win a PC, one for each platform. It's a great way of kind of bringing people together and continuing to know, listen, content creators are content creators. That's it. We're content creators. Yeah. There we go. Absolutely loving this. It's going to be great. What an amazing set of specs on this. Plus, it's about to be turned on, and this is going to literally be lit. Are you ready?
We good, Jason? All right.
It's the moment of
Hayden's
truth.
Giving it the power. Ooh.
There we go. Check it out. There we go.
Ooh,
let's once again
nice.
go over all these features on this board. This special edition of Kick versus Twitch is for our Kick winner, and this has an Intel Core i7-13700KF processor. It's mounted on an MSI Mag Z690 Tomahawk Wi-Fi DDR4 motherboard with 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 RAM coming in from Kingston. We've also got an Nvidia RTX 4060 Ti graphics card with an operating system mounted on a 2 terabyte Kingston NVMe M.2 drive. The processor is cooled by the CLX Quench 360 closed liquid AIO, and of course, it is being also cooled by 9 different Gamdias Aeolus M2 RGB fans. The power supply is a 750-watt Gamdias Kratos M180 Plus bronze, and of course, it's all inside that beautiful custom case. So, we're excited to see who our winners are. And yeah, there's a white version, there's a black version. This is great. I dig it. Absolutely dig it.
Looks amazing.
All right, so you can, for all the latest and greatest of what's happening with CLX and all of our adventures, including giveaways, make sure you're following all of our social medias. That is YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter at CLX Gaming. You can find our show Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's Tuesdays here, Thursdays there, where we go inside these builds and assemble them from the ground up. Now, our show comes in 2 different pieces. We're going to take a break here just in a few, and when we come back, you're going to spend the afternoon with Hayden building out some PCs while I start gaming. But if you would like, of course, to be part of our community or to keep an eye out on all things happening in the community, Discord is where you want to go, discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And with that being said, final thoughts, gentlemen.
Just thank you for letting us build these two PCs. This is
been
awesome. Really like the giveaway. The
super sick opportunity to do it. Has been nice.
This is great. So very cool.
And if you want details about the streamer showdown, just head on over to BBJess's channel right here on Kick. That's kick.com/BBJess. On behalf of Travis, Kyle, and Jason in production, Paul and Hayden, I'm DJ BluePDX. Don't go away. We've got more coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.